Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunities Coaching YouTube channel. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome to those of you who are seasoned veterans of what we do around here. What we do around here is bring about conversations of a psychological, mental health, emotional health, and coaching paradigm. We do that as often as we can, usually several times per week, although my schedule is always in flux. And that's because I'm meeting the needs of both existing and new clients. If you'd like to be one of those, business, relationship, habit form coaching, um, better communication, better self value, all that stuff. A real holistic approach to the coaching process would love to be of assistance to you in that way. Keep your feet on the ground and your mind in the moment, and feel free to reach out at PO Perception on Twitter and or in the About Me section of this YouTube page. Either way, will lead you in a positive direction. The first thing we're looking at in this life lessons series is being willing to push your limits. We all have limits we place upon ourselves, and some limits are good. You don't want to push yourself to the place where you get hurt, but you want to push yourself as close to that danger zone as possible without hurting yourself. And so sometimes there's a certain level of courage it takes to push right up to your boundary, right up to your limit, because if you don't do that, you'll miss out on an opportunity. If you don't do that, you'll kind of grow in a negative direction. If you don't do that, you're going to be um, in a difficult way for the long and short run of what it is that leads you in a positive direction. So, the next thing to look at there in terms of things that life may be trying to teach you that you're not necessarily paying complete uh, and attention here is ultimately you may want to look at control. What you can control, what you can't control, and how to establish control. How to establish what matters, how to establish what doesn't matter, how to establish what is burning you out, how to establish what is setting you up for a certain level of failure, how to establish what it is you're doing well and you know, uh, you know that there's an interesting process and making it clear. Um, there's value in how to look at what we can control, what we can't control. There is a challenge, and there is a need to um, release control of what other people do, what other people think, what other people um, are concerned with. And that goes along with kind of the next thing. Don't complain. In other words, if you're going to complain about something, that means you want it to change. So take the time to change things, take the time to put energy into the potential of changing something rather than complaining. Because in reality, lots of people can complain, lots of people can do a lot of talking, but if you don't like something, you need to put action towards changing it rather than complaining about it. Because the reality is, most people that complain are just doing so because they feel powerless. But the only way to empower oneself is to take action. Even if the action doesn't lead you somewhere, even if the action doesn't get you where you want to be in your daily life, even if the action doesn't pan out or people think it's foolish, just keep pushing forward. I remember 15 years ago when I was starting my own business, and the people that I figured would be my best supporters were critical. I had to ignore the critics. I had to know that I had value, and I'm so glad that I did, because I've been able to help 17,000 people in the last 15 years. I've been able to do things that there were lots of people I thought would be in my corner, people I thought would stand beside me, people I thought would push through with me as I overcame physical disabilities and all sorts of other things, and they didn't, and I had to believe. And so ignoring your critics is super important. Ignoring them doesn't mean not taking value from what they're saying. It is, you have to know your value greater than what someone else says about you. It doesn't mean they can't have value in some of the constructive criticism they give, or that you can't take some things from that and say, all right, well, let me use that to my advantage, but without being willing to um, see words as what they are. They're just opinions. They're just viewpoints. Some are positive, some are negative, some are neutral. Take what works, ignore what doesn't, and move forward. And that's important. So hopefully we can do that. Keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Until next time, everybody.